Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hey, welcome back to the New School of Marketing podcast. I am so grateful to you for tuning in. And before we dive into this episode, I would love to pay my respects and acknowledgement to the Palawa people of Lutruwita, who are the traditional owners of the land on which my business operates. I pay my respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in. It is quite a nice day here. I don't know where you are. I don't know even what season you're in. But we're in spring here in Tasmania, Australia, and it was pretty cold this morning. But right now it's quite nice. The sun's coming through. Mind you, my two dogs are on the couch with their heated throw rug. Yes, I know they're a little bit spoiled. They have a heated blanket on the couch. And my horse has his rug on, and usually when he has his rug on at night and then it turns sunny in the morning, I feel a bit bad for him because he's all sweaty underneath. But at least he's not cold during the night. Then again, he's a horse. You know, back in the day, there used to not be any rugs. But yeah, I'm a little bit of a wuss and a little bit of a sook. It's been a while since I've owned a horse, so I'm kind of learning all over again. So nice though. I love him so much. He's a bit of a snuggler. When I'm in the paddock, he comes over and kind of, gives you snuggles, and he's just really interested, which is nice. Anyway, back to business. In today's episode, I want to talk about pricing your offers and communicating the value of your offers. So in the world of marketing, communicating the value of your products or your services is basically a skill that can make or break your business and your success. Customers are always looking for solutions to help solve their problems, and they want to understand why your offering is the best choice. And this is where value communication comes into play. So in this episode, I'll get into the importance of effectively communicating the value of your offers, and I'll also give you some strategies to help you do this. So the first thing I want to start with is understanding the value proposition. And this is, I know, marketing jargon, but basically a value proposition is the unique benefit that your product or your service offers to your customers. So basically it answers the question, why should someone choose your product or your service over someone else's, over your competitors? And to communicate this effectively, you need to understand your value proposition inside out. So you need to know what is that unique benefit, that unique thing that your product or service offers that someone else's doesn't. And I often find this quite tricky because a lot of things are the same, and sometimes we literally offer the same thing as someone else. So then what we need to look at is, well, what makes us unique? What makes my business unique rather than the product or the service? Maybe your values in your business or the way you conduct business is different. Or sometimes literally we are the difference, we don't resonate with everyone. So sometimes we do buy from the person that we like most. So that is one thing. Then another thing is knowing your audience. So effective communication begins with knowing your target audience. And I talk about this all the time. Knowing your target audience is so important in marketing. So who are they? And what exactly are they looking for? What problems are they trying to solve? Or sometimes it's not a problem. Sometimes, they want to fulfill a desire. So you need to understand their needs, their preferences, pain points, if there are pain points, so that you can tailor your messaging to resonate with your audience. And then you can craft your value proposition. So once you know what your value proposition is and who your audience is, you can craft your message. You can get down to the nitty-gritty. And here are some tips of how you can actually create a message that is going to resonate with your audience. Number one, keep it clear and concise. Like, it needs to be very, very clear, no jargon or technical language. Simple and straightforward communication is usually the most effective. So don't try to make it don't try to make it harder than it needs to be. Highlight the benefits. So how will it improve your customer's life, and how will it solve their problems, or how will it make their days better, or, what is it actually going to do for them? Benefits are more persuasive than features. So listing what is included is important, but what it's going to do for them is more important. Another thing, unique selling points. So identify and promote, like you talk about it, the unique aspects of your offering. So what sets you apart from the competition? And it could be price, it could be quality, it could be convenience, but it could also be like other features, or it could be the way you do business. It could not have anything to do with the product, but maybe you are very focused on doing business in a way that is sustainable. You look after the planet, and obviously that would be reflected in your products as well. But it could be things like giving back, things like that. So, really highlight what the unique selling points are of your products and services. And leveraging social proof. So include customer testimonials, reviews, case studies, so that you can demonstrate that other people have actually got value from your offers. And if you're new, this can be a little bit tricky, but if you're not, getting that social proof, that will really help you develop your messaging even more as well, because you want to know what your customers are saying about you, and then using those words to craft your message. On to the next thing, you need to choose the right channels. And I know channels is like a bit of marketing speak, but I'm talking about marketing channels. So where you communicate your value is just as important as how you communicate it. So think about these marketing channels. Your website. So normally your website, not normally, but sometimes your website is the first point of contact. So make sure that your value proposition is displayed, it's like front and center on your homepage of your website. You most of the time want it to be up the top without people scrolling. So yeah, have your messaging and your value proposition there. Another one is email marketing. So using email campaigns to communicate the value, especially to existing customers, but also to leads that go into your sales funnel. And this is really important for service-based businesses. Another one is content marketing. So you can create blog posts, videos, and sort of other content that will educate your audience about the value of your products and services. Because, I know a value proposition, having it on our homepage is great, and a one-liner is great, but there's often so much more. So communicating that value, and I'm talking benefits as well as features, but benefits more so than features, it's really important to do that. And you can do that in multiple ways, because people will find different touch points. They will connect with you on your website, but also on email, and they need to hear it multiple times it's kind of like the same message, but in different variations. Another one is social media. So share stories, posts, make updates that really showcase how what you offer benefits them. Again, benefits. So a lot of the time you are educating and talking about what you do or what you offer and how that really makes a difference in someone's life. And the next point is consistency. Consistency is key. And I'm not talking about consistency in terms of you post every Tuesday at like 9:00. No, not that kind of consistency. I'm talking about your messaging. So your messaging should be consistent across all of your channels. So when you are talking about what you offer, your messaging is the same, but adapted for the specific channels, but the message is the same. So whether a potential customer is browsing your website, reading an email, or checking out your social media profile, the value you communicate on each of those channels should be the same. They should all align with each other. And then lastly, marketing is an ever-evolving process. It's like something that you can't just set and forget. And this is why I probably am in this field, because I need to change all the time. Whereas my brother is an accountant. I'm like, oh, numbers don't change. Not much anyway. Basically the same. If you add it up, it gets to a number. So yeah, it's like ever evolving. So you need to regularly evaluate the effectiveness of your value communication and look at things like conversion rates, customer feedback, and obviously sales figures. And then you can make tweaks and adjustments based on what you learn so that you're always improving your messaging. And I really want to drive home the customer feedback here. Listen to what people are saying, because sometimes you might just have to amplify that, like literally using their words and amplify it. Or sometimes you might think that your messaging was, in one direction, and then someone will give you some gold and you're like, oh, I can use that in my messaging. So pay attention to what people are saying, but obviously also pay attention to your conversion rates and to your sales figures. You need to have enough numbers, like enough data, to be able to actually come to conclusions. So if you've had, 5 people go to your website and 0 sales, that is not enough, not enough data. So be realistic about that as well. So to wrap up, effectively communicating the value of your offers is like essential. It's going to be the make or break for your success. Like your marketing message needs to be on point. And by understanding your value proposition, knowing your audience, and then creating compelling messages that you will spread through the right channels consistently, that way you can connect with your customers and really offer them that solution that they're looking for, but you need to say it in the words that they are looking for. So it's not as easy as it seems. Knowing your message, knowing your audience, choosing the right channels and saying the same thing consistently, that is what builds a reputation over time. That is what builds your brand over time. That is what people at some point will start to recognize you for. And remember that value communication, it's an ongoing process, and you just have to kind of like make it and tweak it as you go. Like it's like you refine it along the way. And the longer you keep going, the longer and the better you keep refining it, the better your results will get. All right. Well, that is the end of this episode. If you have any questions about value propositions, communicating your messages, because, this is not always the easiest, and sometimes you're too close to it. So if you have any questions about it, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll pop the link in the show notes. I am so grateful that you have joined me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast, and I hope it was helpful. I can't wait to share more marketing tips with you next week. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure that you visit newschoolofmarketing.com, where you can download practical free resources. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Until next time, take care, and don't forget, market your business every day.